share and come in here with a open heart, open mind. Because we need to talk about this thing here. Okay, we need to talk about this Michael Miller case. We need to talk about all these speculations, accusations, and fornications. Oh. Hey. See, these are the things that I feel like you guys should be talking about, but you're not talking about. And it is now June. Okay, this happened April 6, 27? And y'all still going on and going about and coming up with theories, making up stuff, saying everything under the sun except for, my opinion, what you should be focusing on and talking about. So I recently saw a couple of videos that were put up, and we're gonna use these videos as an example of the cockamamie bullcrap that seems to be going on concerning this case. Okay, we're gonna do that. All right, let's go to Exhibit A. All right, so this is a channel called Freedom Voice, and this brother here says Mica Miller was gang stalked. Okay.
Gang stalk. Now, as we go into the interior of the pawn shop, you can see the front door. The door's open there, and she walks in casually. And as she walks in, I want to show you another view behind the counter, what happened, where she went after she walked in the front door. Here you can see from behind the counter, she walked in. I'm slowing the video down here to show you that she knew exactly where she was going to go. She was going over to the gun case to actually look at the gun case. Look at the guns in the gun case. Now, my premise is that someone told her to go in and buy this gun. They told her exactly what gun to buy. And so she went in, not really to shop, but to actually get a Sig 9, which is kind of like a Cadillac of 9mm, the 9mm platform. And you can see her over here at the gun case. Now, I want to kind of walk through, obviously we have no sound here, but I want to kind of walk through how I imagine things went down. So you can see the attendant showing her the gun that she asked for, inquired about.
And I will say this. So far in this video, I do think that the guy has done a great job. I've gotten through almost all of it, and I do think he has done a great job with his descriptives and his explanations. Don't agree with everything, but hey, so far it's pretty fantastic with it. All right. He said that he believes Michael went in there specifically for that Sig. Yeah, I agree with that. And it's weird that nobody just came to that conclusion and moved on from it. And he was just like, well, why is she going to get this kind of gun? It's powerful gun for a woman. And all this other kind of chauvinistic sounding BS. And I'm just like, clearly, and it don't take a rocket scientist. You listening to her father, he says that she's familiar with guns. She's trained on guns. So she knew what she was going in there to get. Now, when this guy says that he believes somebody told her to get it, I don't know. You got to come harder than that. Like, what would be the reason for somebody to specifically tell her to get that? For her own protection? Who could it have been? How come they haven't come forward yet? If anybody, well, I guess it would be the father, because she talked to him about wanting to get a gun, according to him. So why wasn't he the one who said, get a Sig so you can blow that mother sucker away, okay? Mother sucker. Nobody ain't tell her to get that damn Sig, boy. She knew what the hell kind of gun she wanted. It's just that simple. Y'all cut it out.
And then she probably asked to see it. Right now she's taking off her backpack because he's asking for her ID just to make sure that she's 21 years old and older. So she takes out her wallet there. She hands her ID to the attendant. He hands it back to her. And then he unlocks the gun case and he pulls the Sig 9 out. He takes the clip out. And then he engages the slide and then hands it to her. You can see her holding it. She engages the slide once or twice to make sure that, there's nothing in, making sure that the firing pin works. And I'm sure she knew exactly how to handle guns is the point I'm trying to make. I mean, she's not a novice at this. You can look at her and tell. Now, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because I don't believe at all that she...
See, this is the thing. He can say all that, but he gonna say somebody else had to tell her to get that gun. Y'all get on my nerves. Y'all get on my nerves with that BS. Y'all sitting up here, though, acting like Mica was a novice in life or that world. She's not a novice in that world. She's an expert. She been in this world since she was, what, a little teenager. Okay?
Lived herself. I believe that someone told her to meet them, whoever it was, whether it was someone else besides J.P. Miller or perhaps J.P. himself, I'm not sure, but someone told her to meet her after she purchased the gun at a certain location. And you'll see later on in the video that she actually kept looking at her watch as well. You know, she seemed like she was on a schedule. So she hands the gun back to the attendant. The attendant then gets the cover, the case for the actual gun, and he'll come back here and frame in a minute. And you can see them over on the right side, the far right. And then he brings the gun over, and, you know, again, she's not there to shop. She knows what she's buying, which is not really characteristic for ladies. And I don't say this in a derogatory way, but ladies are not one to just go, they kind of like to see all options. And again, I don't mean this in a derogatory way. I'm saying that a lot of...
I get what he's trying to say, but guess what, sir? Cut the stereotypes. Y'all need to cut the stereotypes, because you think you sound one way, but when we, the people who you are offending, yes, offending, when we hear you, it comes off as just what it is. Okay? Just what it is. You convince yourself that you can throw the stereo out here and it won't be seen as a stereotype, but it is exactly that. Okay? It's plenty of times, and quite often, that I know what I'm going to get. I go there, I get it, I leave. Okay? That could be with general shopping. That could be with specialty shopping. And we say that this is specialty shopping. If I know exactly what fabric I need and want for a project, I'm going in there, I'm going to get it, and that's it. I don't go in the fabric store just looking around and shopping and trying to see every option. You know how many options there are? Thousands of options. I know exactly what I want. It doesn't make any sense for me to go in there and be perusing the store and just casually. No, that's silly. It's a lot of women that don't do that. Okay, so you tell me that's not characteristic for a woman. How come a woman can't be about her business and just be like, this is what I want, this is what I'm going for, and I'm in there, and I'm out of there? The woman knew it. She knew about guns. She knew exactly what she was going to get, regardless of what anything you guys have to say. It's all just theory. And yes, Mica knew she was being followed, gang stalked, whatever you want to call it. And yes, Mica had somebody she was supposed to be meeting. This is that life. This is that life. And Mica was all up in it. She was the first lady of it. And y'all need to stop acting like she wasn't, because it's done got weird. Yeah.
Sometimes ladies, they like to see every option. She's not there to look at every option. She's there specifically for the Sig 9. I believe someone told her to get the Sig 9, that it was kind of like the Cadillac of guns.
You see how that shit sound, Bo? You see that? You see how that shit sound? She was there specifically for the Sig 9. And then you talk about how the woman knew about guns. I don't know if you just got that theory yourself or you got it from listening to her father. And you talked about she had guns, but y'all ain't talking about if she had guns and her guns was confiscated for any type of mental or domestic situation, then she should not be allowed to get more guns. Now, if South Carolina did their job or not, I don't know. However, yeah, you're not supposed to. If we gonna take your gun for the reasons and not give it back, that means you can't get no more either, because you disqualified for now until you go get a change, hopefully. But no, you ain't talking about that. You just talking about somebody told her to go get that gun. Why somebody had to tell her what kind of gun she needed to get? You sound slow, Bo.
And so she went in to do that. Now, she's waiting on the attendant. He's going back to get the case and all the instructions for the actual firearm, and then he would bring it back up. In the meantime, you're going to see here in a minute, that's what's going to come in the top of the frame, up top, at the top frame. You're going to see a guy walk in the pawn shop. And this would be what I would consider perp number one. And I believe 110% that this guy was stalking her.
That's crazy.
And I'll show you why here in a minute.
That's crazy.
As she walks over by the cash register, the next process is...
Now, how he believe 110% he was stalking her? First of all, 110%, that's a lot. That means you got absolute proof, or you just be believing shit just because your mind told you that. I wonder if the FBI believe it, because if they do, they sure ain't doing nothing about it. That's interesting. Oh, and he blames a man who is in there with a child. And did you 110% him? I can't remember. But you say he was stalking her too. And that she was fixated on him because he was stalking her. Now, Mica was looking at that man and that child. I don't know. She could have been thinking anything. She could have been like, I wonder what my life would have been like if I'd have married him instead of JP. He's in here with a little kid. I want kids. She could have been thinking anything. Any Jumbo Ross Clock team. But no. You want to say that this man and his child was in there with his child. With his child. So he can stalk Mica ass. A boy, no.
For her to fill out a background application. So she comes in, you can see it, I'm zooming it, slowing it up. She's handing her ID to the attendant. And as she hands her ID to the attendant, he then takes her ID and sets it on the counter. He takes the background application, he kind of goes over the parts that she would need to fill out. And this is all for a reason. I believe they have cameras on the ceiling that's recording her ID sitting on the counter as well as the application. And they're also recording her filling out the application. She's going through the legal way of purchasing a gun. Someone who would commit suicide, in my opinion, would not do this. They would not go through these preliminaries for purchasing a firearm.
First and second, third and fifth, and 1,000. Don't nobody know what nobody who would commit suicide would or would not do. You only have your speculations, your opinions, which is like booty holes. Pretty much everybody has one.
Only to go and shoot themselves. If they wanted to do that, they would simply get a burner gun off the dark web or something like that. But
First of all, most people ain't thinking about no dark web. Secondly, most people ain't even trying to go to dark web. Fourthly, most people don't even know how to get to dark web. Fifthly, I ain't trying to go to no damn dark web and go meet no crook in the alleyway when I can walk right in the damn store and buy what the fuck I want, nigga. Why does it matter when you about to leave? You talking about murder or you talking about suicide? Which one were you talking about? Because I could see if you say I'm about to eliminate this cat. Okay, that means you trying to still be here and you really don't want to get caught for that. So you okay, dark web, okay, cool. But you leaving? You leaving? Unless you just wanted the adventure. Never done it before. Hey, I'm trying to get on that dark web one time before I bounce. Okay? Yeah. So her family can spend the rest of their lives. How in the hell did she get? Where did God come from? That's just one lingering question. Child, she kept it right there. Here it is. Because as soon as I meet these dudes, whatever they try to do, I'm going to blow them away. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she was like, I got to protect myself. Okay? What's the point in getting something illegal when you about to protect yourself? You better protect yourself. Okay? Dude, calm down. Calm your ass down.
Not only filling out a background application, but they're going to take her photo here in just a minute. All this is important for the purchase of this firearm. Now, this is unique to South Carolina. In places like California, where I live, you have to have sort of like an 18-day waiting period, and it's a longer process. Now, I'm zooming in. Now, notice the gentleman walking in at the top of the screen. This guy right here, suspect, definitely, in my opinion, strikes me as a perp. Notice how he's not really there to buy anything. He's just sort of window shopping. And he's not really looking for anything.
And what you gonna say? Guys don't do that? Nope, not a guy thing. Guys don't do that. Okay.
Specific. He's just looking at everything. Everything that he can see. As I pan out and kind of show you, you can see his shoes at the top of the frame there, still in frame. And he's going to come back in. In the meantime, Mica is filling out the background application. And he comes back in frame here, hands in his pocket. He has on the black shirt, black pants with a red stripe. And you'll notice as I zoom in on him, he's just kind of looking at the bulletin board there, looking at pictures. This guy here is suspect, guys. It's as though he's not in here to buy anything. In my opinion, he's one of the stalkers.
Okay.
Definitely. And I'm going to show you why in just a minute. We're going to follow him as he walks around the store. Again, he's looking at the bulletin board, just kind of reading information. People that go in and look around, they tend to have items that are priority that they want to look at. This guy goes over to the spy camera case. He's looking at the spy cameras. Then he goes over to what appears.
This guy here doing this video, don't be like that guy. Okay? Don't be like that guy. You want to try to figure something out, don't be like that guy. He over here speculating and making assumptions about people. Putting their ass on camera with a case where they're trying to figure out who done it and why. And he just like, oh, people normally don't, because this is what people normally don't do. Or because he's a dude, he usually go in the store with something in mind. And he in the store with nothing in mind, it seemed like. Oh, and because she's a woman, she want to see everything in the store. That's your opinion of us, sucker? We go in there and be like, I want to see all your guns. Oh, they so cute. Stupid.
Look like printers for a computer, and he's just kind of looking at everything. In the meantime, you can see Mica Miller here filling out the application, but I want you to keep your eyes on what I consider perp number 1. You can see him over on the far right, and he walks down aisle number 3, just kind of browsing around looking. And in the meantime, he comes back out from that aisle. He looks at, again, the case, I guess, with the printers there. And he goes down the next aisle, and he's just kind of looking around. Now, we're going to see a lot of him. There's a lot of footage showing what he's doing.
I bet there is, because you watching everything and everybody, and that's cool too. But, sometimes guys just walk in places and just look around. What was the name of the guy who got chased down by the daddy and the son because he walked into a construction home where they were building a home? He was jogging. Yeah, story. That's a story for you. Just walking around. Plenty of guys came in the comment section and said, hey man, sometimes I walk in and look at old construction sites, and they gave all kind of reasons as to what they be thinking about and things like that. But it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for nobody. You can't say what nobody is gonna be doing or not doing, or what you calling normal or not normal for somebody. Get the fuck out of here. Is it normal to be the pastor's wife and you the Cassie of the, like she was like Cassie in a way, but Mica's is a little bit different. It's a little bit more intense, which is why I think it's kind of weird that y'all still going so hard for Mica. I don't think that's what God wanted. I think y'all sending the wrong messages. Y'all need to be advocating and talking about the lessons to be learned here. What is the lessons, baby? Because all this stuff here that Mica going through comes with the territory. Similar stuff that Cassie went through. All right? Mica wasn't having no problem with this lifestyle that she lived for over 10 years. I mean, she left her husband. According to y'all, he was JP's best friend as well. JP married him. Married them two together. Okay, Mica was babysitting this woman's children. Y'all done set up there and read Allison's her filings, and y'all ain't talk about the fact that this woman, bless her heart, was married to JP for 16 years, and the whore who was the also babysitter and married to her husband's best friend turned out to be the woman that he was sleeping with. Ooh.
But I want to kind of go back and talk a little bit about Mica Miller and kind of the motive that I believe brought her to purchasing the firearm on April 27th. I believe that, again, someone told her what to buy, and they told her to meet them at somewhere specific. So she's following instructions. She finished the background application, hands it back to the attendant, and she's waiting now for the attendant to enter all the information into the computer. where they would in fact check her background immediately, and once the background clears, they would give her the firearm. Now again, as I mentioned, in states like California, here where I live, there's an 18-day waiting period, so you can't just walk in and purchase a firearm and get it right over the counter.
Okay, but we not in
unlike
Cali.
South Carolina.
Move on.
Another thing I want you to notice, to the right of Mica Miller, you see a monitor on the counter there? I want to just point out that monitor. That's not hers. That was there when she walked in. But this is going to become very important when I show proof that she's being stalked. And she knew it too. Remember the monitor on the counter, guys. Notice that it's there, and notice that she's not paying any attention to it. This is going to become important later on. Now, I want to call your attention back over to the right side of the screen. You're going to see in just a minute the perp come back in frame. And when he comes back in frame, you'll see that he is, in fact, still looking around the store. He's just kind of browsing, walking. I believe that she knew he was there. It's not like she was really worried about it or paranoid about him, but she did, in fact, notice him. Now, the attendant is filling out the application, going over information as it relates to purchasing a firearm. What I find interesting about the case also is that if you look at the police reports for this case, you'll notice that in the police reports, they did document the fact that the police confiscated, or I should say JP Miller had the police confiscate her guns. She had guns already, but they had been confiscated because of her quote-unquote mental illness or mental, inducement to mental health.
And then, so what did she put on this application that got her gun? Ain't nobody talking about that. Ain't not even the police. What did she put on this application and got her gun on this day? Because whatever it was, it had to be illegal. She wasn't qualified to get a gun. No? We don't care. Okay, we don't care.
Hospital. Now, she needed to get another firearm, and that's why she's purchasing one today. So it all seems to be a setup.
Needed to and wasn't supposed to.
Now, I want to call your attention back over to the right side of the screen. You'll see the perp come in view. He comes in frame. Is looking again at the spy camera case. Now, he looked at it already once.
He called this dude a perp. He called him a perp.
This is proof right here that he's not into buy. He's not really in window shopping. He's just in killing time and then trying to get her attention, so to speak.
It's not proof. How he trying to get her attention? He don't need to get her attention. If she knows she been gang stalked, she know how this is, how that go. Then as soon as he walk in there, she pretty much know who this dude is. Okay, once he perused through there a little bit one time and kind of linger or whatever, all he got to do is seem suspicious for like 2 minutes, and she know the type. She know who he is, and it's usually somebody that she knows, not perfect strangers either. Okay, so I mean, sir, get off it.
He walks over, and then he comes behind. Now, perp number 2 just came in with the red shirt. Notice how she looks over her shoulder at him, and she stares at him. Now I'm going to show that again. Notice, she looks at him and she stares at him.
This dude is with
for a while. Okay, and you'll notice how she's...
I honestly believe that this woman was looking at this man with this baby. Because she looking at the man with the baby. Okay?
Very, very kind of clued into or locked into the guy with the red shirt on, right? So as he goes over to the counter, you can see on her face, she appears to be troubled. And I believe that's for a case. Now you can see, that's for a reason rather. Now you can see perp number 1, he's just walking around behind her, Again, this is very characteristic of what I would consider stalking, gang stalking, whatever the case may be. She doesn't appear to be bothered by it. She's actually seemed to be trying to ignore it, just kind of occupying.
She don't seem bothered by it, but you are. Interesting.
Herself with whatever she can see. But notice how she looks over her shoulder right there. She seems to be looking over her shoulder at him. Now, I'm going to duplicate this and show this again. Notice again. Notice how she appears to be looking over her shoulder, kind of at the corner of her eyes. She notices that guy walked in behind her. And she's kind of keeping her eye. I'm going to show you another view. This is another view of her noticing the guy looking behind her in the glass case, right? and then she looks away because the attendant called her attention. So when the attendant called for her attention, you'll notice that she looks up at the attendant. And it's going to happen right here. Now, she looks up at the attendant, and she's now back conscientious of what she's doing, which the reason why she's there to purchase the firearm.
That's ridiculous. This look off and right here looks to me like she's wandering off mentally and emotionally because of all that's going on. But he can't attribute it to none of that. It has to be about the guy that's in the store.
Going over the application with her, getting her to sign it. And in the meantime, notice perk number 1, he's going to kind of walk out the store now. He's walking out the store, didn't purchase anything. He just walks out and he goes outside. All right, I want to show you as he walks outside. You can see the outside exterior view. You see him walking out the door now. He's walking towards this white van, and you can see that he opens the passenger, or I should say the driver's side door, and gets in. He starts up the van and he pulls off. That's so this, to me, this guy here is suspect number 1. Now, perk number 2 is still there. Now, I want you to notice the guy in the red shirt. If you notice the guy in the red shirt,
that man could have been there for any reason on that day. He could have been there just building ideas on something. He could have been there for any reason, and then look at what he got out of it. And look at this. This is crazy. Will you look at this?
Looks over at her. He's holding the baby. Remember now, when he first walked in, she looked over at him and she was locked in on him when he walked in.
Yep.
That tells me that she knew she was being stalked.
Man, no,
she knew she was being followed.
It tells you that because you're dumb. But what you listen, didn't JP just send her a letter talking about I was ready to have children with you because you wasn't on your medication? Shit like that. Can you just imagine the kind of, she probably looking back because she about to probably, let's say, I'm gonna say it like this, she about to probably come to the end of her life by some kind of means. I mean, you getting sick, so you feel like this is it right here. This is danger. Either way it go, danger. Okay, danger is up on us in a major way. This is about to be the showdown. I'm never gonna have one of those. Maybe that's why she was looking. Oh no, we can't stereotype right now. No, we just gotta say this is because that dude with that child was gang stalking her. The baby was in on it too. You forget that part?
And if you'll notice the attendant there, he's going through the formalities of purchasing a firearm. He sets it on the back table there. And a lot of times they do this because there are cameras all over the pawn shop showing every action that takes place, not only from the attendant, but from the customers as well.
And from the baby too.
So you notice that Mica Miller there is just kind of waiting for the process. I believe she's waiting for the background clearance.
That's the biggest aspect. The baby.
Then she's going to walk out with the firearm in her hand. Now, again, guys, I'm going to do 2 parts to this video. Right now, this is just the footage in the pawn shop. The next time when I do part 2, I want to show footage of her at the gas station. Now, when I show the video and the footage at the gas station, you're going to clearly see that she's being stalked. She's being followed. And that's
now, I think that some of these are coincidences, but I think that most of it is not. Okay, do I think the baby was in on it? Yes. I think the baby told the guy, listen, I'm not your youngin', but take me with you. Because this is how we gonna also look innocent while getting her attention, because she ain't never had no babies. Yep. And I've been in her nursery before at church. And I could see it all in her face. She wish I was hers. She just wish she had one of me. Take me with you. Yes, so the baby's in on it. All right. So, I mean, these are some good players. But at the end of the day, though, y'all still ain't proving nothing, and you ain't talking about what needs to be talked about. You ain't talking about what's the important parts in this, because everything in life is a lesson. What's the important parts in this? The important parts is, ladies, don't do what Mica did. Okay? Don't be that whore. Especially when you're in the congregation. Yeah? Is that not what we should be talking about? Listen, if the law don't want to deal with her her passing, however that happened, then it's pretty much a wrap. Unless y'all are going to find some way to force them to, which the bunch that we have here, I don't see it happening. I think this is fully decided. And this situation is just so huge, okay? Like I said before, this is like Sheeta Cassie of the church community, as far as we know so far. Because I'm pretty sure there's more Micas out here, just like there was more Cassies out here, right? The difference is, y'all giving Mica too much pity because of he groomed her at 50. That's how that go. That's what happens. So yeah, we can, shed so many tears for all that. What are you going to do in the future? What's implemented in the future? You got your little Mica's Law that you're trying to get implemented. And then again, just because they have laws don't mean that nobody's going to follow them or they're going to be enforced. So y'all quit acting like this is going to be everything. Okay? Everything. But it's not. I'm not impressed. What are you going to do? What's going on with this community here? Who's going to stop the next JP Miller and shit like that? Because it's a lot of stuff going on, right? This is a corrupt organization here, and Mica not only knew about it, she helped build it. But y'all not acting like that. I think that's kind of weird. Okay, I think you're going a little too far. All right, just like I believe Kyla is really JP's girl. And she just here. She part of the whole shit. Because you're not going to explain where she came from with that old elementary school best friend shit. Listen, Kyla is part of it. And she's part of the distraction. Alright? That's how deep this shit runs. Like they're their own little mafia. You got the first lady buying a SIG. Y'all saying she wasn't gonna kill herself, so who was she gonna kill? She was gonna kill somebody. She gonna blow their ass to smithereens.
In part 2 of this video. Now, I want to move to another segment here. As she's making the purchase now, she pulls out her credit card here, and they tell her to go over to the other cashier. Now, I'm showing you another angle here. She takes out her credit card to hand it to the attendant. And he says, go over to the other computer to make the transaction. So he takes her over to this other computer here, I guess, where they take the credit card transactions. And she uses a credit card to purchase the firearm. It should be noted that she had in her purse, according to police records, she had $500 cash in her purse. She had money. Now, I'm not sure. Again, I believe that someone told her to go in and buy this firearm. And I believe the same person told her to meet them somewhere, I don't know where, somewhere close to Lumberton Park, where she was found unalived.
Listen, Mica bought that gun because she gang. Okay, she part of the gang. She the first lady of the gang. Okay, all that cuckold, picking up prostitutes, letting them, do whatever JP and whoever else tell. This is a woman. Not Mica, but a woman. This is the situation. This is the case where a woman came out and told y'all that when she was a child, and thought JP was her friend, how many people are going to come out and we're going to hear these friend scenarios with a grown-ass 20-something odd R. Kelly and Aaliyah type situation as man and some teenagers, and people keep talking about this shit like it's normal, it's okay. How can he be your friend and he a grown-ass man? That shit don't make no sense. The youth pastor who is a whole adult is your motherfucking friend? Huh? The lady came out and said She was a teenager. Preteen maybe. She thought JP was her friend. JP took her in the office asking her about another friend. Where her friend at? Why she ain't been coming to church? I don't know. I ain't seen her. Oh, okay. Oh, I dropped my pencil. Look at that. Let me close this door right quick. Oh, yeah. The guy who plays the guitar in the church, the grown-ass man, he's sitting right there. He watching us. But I know you feel weird. Hey, let me get that right quick. Took her virginity right there with the other man watching. He was watching. He was sitting in the room watching. Okay, and this is normal. Okay, the wife, the first one, I'm talking about, he got 5 children with, he got 4 with this lady. Okay, he had his first child when he was 17, mind you. Yeah, that pastor did. So did. So he had 5 children with this woman. And this woman talks about how he confessed to her at the time that he confessed about his love affair with Mica Miller. This lady here, the one y'all going crazy over. She was sleeping with this man. And he was married to another woman. She was married to another man. And she was babysitting their children. Can you imagine? After you put Timmy to bed. Meet me in the garage because the wife is doped up. You know? And, amen. That first wife said JP confessed to having multiple sexual encounters with children in the church. Huh? That's who Mica was having an affair with and married. You think she know all this? She probably was participating. Y'all ain't talking about that. You got every speculation in the world, but y'all ain't talking about that shit.
But everything in this video and everything that I've been looking at in regards to the Mica Miller case suggests to me that she was not interested in unaliving herself. She was very happy to live life, even though she was struggling with, abuse, emotional abuse with her husband, JP Miller. It seems to be very obvious to me that she did not want to unalive herself.
Okay, here's another one here. At the end of the day, when you play dirty, you don't get to control how dirty you get. All right, you've already made a decision, and your head down. Hey, I'm willing to get dirty. Okay, cool. Now, when it started to get too dirty for you, don't try to say, oh, I want to be clean now, because how does one do that? How does a woman who has been living in the sinniest of sins for years while building a congregation of what? More sinners? Y'all talking about why people still at the church? Because it's normal. That's how they get down. You see the problem, but they like, glad when this is over with so people can go back to minding their business maybe. Because y'all talking about why they got these children there when they know that they sleep with children and all this and that. Because that's what they all do. That's what they down with. Like, you ain't got it? You ain't got it? Y'all try to make up a whole scenario as to why Michael's family even is innocent and how she ended up in the hands of JP don't mean a thing. Okay, but in the R. Kelly case, y'all was all over the mamas and daddies and how they need to be charged. So Michael family brought Mica to JP church and then they just left? Huh? They just left? But allowed Mica to just keep doing what she wanted to do? You sure about that? You sure that's how that happened? Yeah, come on now. Come on.
Putting the firearm in the case, he closes the case here. The attendant closes the case there. You can see on the counter behind the cash register. He takes the paperwork together with the receipt because she's already made the purchase. And then obviously gets the ammunition as well as the firearm, hands it to her, and says congratulations.
You see that
and she walks out with the firearm.
This how brilliant you guys are. Somebody in the comment section here said, where'd she get the bullets from? Show did. And I mean, he just said it in the video. You just saw it in the video. We been knew this though. I mean, how you gonna buy a gun and not buy bullets? But you know, y'all solving shit.
It's as simple as that. But I wanted to show you this video.
Solve some of that shit Michael was involved in, and knew that it had to come out eventually. And I'm pretty sure JP reminded her of that. It's gonna come out. Your shit gonna come out too, boo-boo. That's why he up there posting pictures and videos and shit on Facebook.
To show you evidence that she's being stalked, she's being followed. Now I'm going to show you again exterior surveillance. You can see her walking out. She's walking towards her car, the top of the screen there. And you can definitely see that she has that firearm in her hand. She gets into her car and she backs out and she drives away. Now again, my premise is that she was on a schedule. My premise is that, and this is alleged, everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged, but I believe she allegedly was scheduled to meet someone somewhere, and they told her, before you get here, purchase a firearm. And the reason being is because, again, as I mentioned earlier, police records had indicated that all of her firearms that she had while she was married to J.P. Miller had been confiscated because of the mental health, the mental health diagnoses that she had received. So I'm going to continue part 2 at a later date, and I want to show you.
He's wrong on that. Who told her to purchase firearms? She told herself to do it. Okay, because Big Baby gonna shoot. That's all that is. Nobody could guarantee that they knew she was gonna get approved for a firearm. That don't make no sense. The only thing that they knew was that she was there at that time because she was being stalked. You know, I don't know. We might check it out, his part 2. Hold on. Let's see if he got it up.
This man right here. Remember this guy?
Look at this. This fool done used somebody's whole video talking this yin yang. Now, listen, this is... Okay. And y'all, because y'all clearly... as a woman, everywhere you go, you got to be careful. There's nowhere really that you can go and there never be nobody plotting on you. Okay, I firmly believe that 100%, because how we experience it, right? We see it. You're gonna probably be paranoid sometimes as a woman out and about, especially nowadays, and you gotta look out for these dudes and pay attention to your surroundings. Just because Mica was paranoid, I mean, with all she had going on, it doesn't necessarily mean that every guy that looks suspicious or seems suspicious to y'all was actually like stalking her or anything like that. Now, they could have been. It could have been totally unrelated. They could have not known who she was and just seen her and saw something in her that they was like, okay, I might be able to make this a victim of mine for whatever purposes. But it doesn't mean that they were involved with her death. And I think it's weird that y'all doing this to every single person that happened to be on camera with somewhere this woman was, just because her ass is dead, because she decided that she wanted to have a sleazy affair with the freaking youth pastor and end up leaving her husband to marry this guy. And they doing all these freak offs and money slandering and laundering and all that, and you know, whatever, all this stuff they was involved in. Mica knew about all this stuff all these years, and she was involved in it all these years. Now, because she decides that she want to try and plan her way out of it, and it didn't necessarily work out the way that she probably intended, y'all want to go through hell and high water to try and defend this woman. But at what point do you stop? Never, because your ass is getting wet off of it. Like, and you going crazy as hell over this woman. Child, please cut it out. Enough is enough now, because this shit comes with the territory, and Mica knew that. Okay, she knew that this is the lifestyle that she chose and that her and her husband built. You can say against her will, this, that, and the third. Please, she was doing good enough to put on the front. And I believe the rest of the congregation is in on that shit too, and they like that too. All right, it's a whole nother world with these people, a whole nother world, and she knew that. Okay, this is the world that she not only chose, but they actually built together. You know, it's at some point the woman wanted to be done with it. It was just more than she could bear. She getting older. I mean, look at her on that day. Most people didn't even want to believe it was her. The whole way she walked with the limp and all that kind of stuff. Ain't no telling what the hell kind of condition that woman was in after years and years of that mess with that dude. But you listen to the first wife, and this is not even new of him. He just amped it up after he got with a woman who was already participating with him in that lifestyle and was willing to do it on a permanent basis. Get the fuck.
Is from the pawn shop footage, y'all. And I just got tagged in this video, and it is crazy. Y'all, leave a like, follow for more true crime. Let me know what you think in the comments, and check this out.
Whoa, and I got more proof that Mr. Pawn Shop was up to no good. He was definitely following Mica Miller, and I don't like it. This is about to blow your mind. Now, if y'all watch my other video, Mr. Pawn Shop right here was really creepy and following Mica to the point even Mica suspected it. She looked at him, rolled her eyes.
Mr. Pawn
But
Shop.
now in this clip, y'all are about to see that he walks in up here and then walks directly out toward the left, but then walks back in. Then that's when he comes in down this aisle and has a little interaction with Mica. That's what we talking about right here. Then after he listens to Mica's conversation, he walks, it's like he knows, okay, now she's about to leave. So he walks towards the exit and just waits around for a little second, then walks out seconds before Mica walks out for purchasing her thing. That's her there. Now I need y'all to watch this video clip. This guy needs to be questioned. Guys, look at the time step, 12:25. You see Mica paying for it, and if you look over here, he walks in right here. But for some reason, he goes straight over there.
Because that's where he chose to go. If you think that man need to be questioned, get your ass up there and question him then. Because the law ain't interested. So, go question him.
Then he comes back in that door and walks back down this aisle towards Mica. Then he swings around. Now, you guys tell me, what is he doing? He's just walking. He's not shopping for anything. Now, at this point, even Mica notices him, looks up and sees in the TV or whatever up there in reflection, she knows he's looking at him, and they have an interaction.
This video look crazy as hell. You got two heads in there trying to show you a small screen of what the hell might be going on. Hey, boy in the front, what the fuck was your purpose in using this man's video? We don't even know who video this is you use. What was your point? Huh? Oh, okay.
But the creepy part is, y'all, when he leaves, it's like he knows Mica's about to leave after they had the interaction. He waits for her by the exit, but he's looking at stuff like he's trying to play it off, like he's not waiting. So here he is, y'all, waiting. If you see the time step, it's 12:33. Mica's coming sexy behind him. Look at him. What are you looking at? You ain't bought nothing. Your hands ain't even ready to make a purchase. He's sitting there. It's like he's listening to Mica, timing like, okay, yeah, she's done. Because he hears her, you know, you wrap it up and you say, all right, thank you. So he moves out and goes back out that way, but he looks to the right. He's got an accomplice with him or something. Right after that, here comes Mica. Mica even looked over to the left, but she leaves and she goes to the left. Justice for Mica.